So, we've talked about why the hair chair feels like therapy, but there is truly something about the chair that makes you tell all the truths, all of the truths, things that you don't think that you would tell anybody, even your hairstylist. Like the most random person would be your hairstylist to tell your deep dark secrets to, or just admit stuff to. So, today I want to do something a little different. I want to talk about hair chair confessions. And obviously, I'm not going to talk about anybody's names. If I ever use any names during these segments or these episodes, just know I will always change names. I will never use somebody's personal information, never want anybody to feel called out or share an experience or a story that may be too personal. So these are just some lighthearted stories because something I've realized is hair isn't always about just hair. Let's get into it.
I don't know why I'm telling you this. I've never told anyone this before. It's like you're my therapist.
No, I'm the Hairapist.
Okay, so I need a change. I cannot tell you how many times I have heard that from a client when they sit down in my chair. It is one of the most common things that I hear when someone is going through something, whether that's good or bad. When somebody sits down in my chair and the first thing they say is, "You know what? I need a change." Cuz I always ask, "What are we doing today? What would you like to do today?" And if their response is, "You know what? I just need a change." My ears automatically perk up, and usually I follow it up with, "What's going on? What is going on in your life? Have you had any changes recently? Let's look at the changes you're looking at. Are they big? Are they small?" And every stylist knows when they hear that or when they hear this, it is usually not about the hair at all. When we hear it, it usually comes after things like a breakup, leaving a job, getting a new job, getting into a new relationship, becoming a mom, realizing that they're just not the same person as what they once were. And whenever we have changes in our lives, the easiest thing to adjust on our outer appearance is our hair. It's the quickest, it's the easiest. And when we have change in life, we also like to have change in appearance. So, a lot of times when we hear, "I need a change," that reflects to us as a hairstylist is you have a lot of change going on in your life. So, therefore, we want to make sure when your hairstylist asks you, "What's going on? Has something changed in your life?" It's not because she's necessarily being nosy or trying to pry into your personal business. It's because we know that that usually leads to those types of hair changes. And we want to make sure that you're making a change in a logical way and not in a way of, "I just need a quick change and you're going to regret it later." Because we do not want you to make this big change because of something going on. And then you look at us like, "Why the hell did you let me do this? I've been blonde for 15 years and you just colored my hair completely dark." We're not doing that. We're going to make sure that whatever change you need correlates to your life and that you are 100% ready to go through this change. And we're here to go through it with you, but we just want to make sure that you're ready for it. Changing your hair becomes this physical way of saying out loud, "Something in my life is shifting." And it's like an unspoken thing, but it's the physical way to be able to say that without physically walking around and telling the world, "Hey, world, I have something that's going on in my life." When you present your new hair, that in itself is already a change. So you're aligning your life and your appearance together with the changes that you're going through. And sometimes it can be as small as just a small trim or going a smidge darker than what you currently have. Or sometimes you sit down in your stylish chair and you're like, "You know what? Cut it all off." Because at the end of the day, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but it is so true. Hair holds on to trauma. Hair holds on to memories. And a lot of times, especially more on the negative aspect, such as, going through a job change, a breakup, a divorce, your kids graduating high school, those big changes that may make you feel a little icky or a little bit down inside, you want those big changes to go with that because you're releasing those memories and you're moving on in your life in a way that that's the physical way that you're being able to put it out into the world on an appearance level. But something I've also realized is a lot of times the hair changes are really people kind of giving themselves the permission to start a new chapter in their life. That is their way to saying, you know what, we're moving forward. Because I'll admit, I change my hair color a lot. I mean, I would say a lot, but maybe not as much as most people, but I do change my hair color a lot. One thing I don't change is my hair length. I don't personally cut my hair off because I hold on to that. That's something about my appearance I hold on to. Now, if I ever come on here and all my hair is cut off, just know shit got real. I needed a change. So, today I want to talk about just stories with my clients that I've had and moments and memories that I've made with my clients over the years because I've been doing this for a while. And just being behind the chair for so many years, I've realized how much I go through with my clients and how much I hear. And sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's happy, sometimes I go home and giggle, and sometimes I think, what the hell? I cannot believe I heard that today. Like, I'm so happy always that people feel comfortable to tell me things, but there are some things that it's one of those realization moments where we can look at, numerous people on the street, and we always say, like, treat people with kindness because you never know what they're going through, right? But in our chair and in the salon, sometimes we're with a client for a couple of hours, and in those couple of hours, they start to open up and tell us things that they, for one, have maybe been wanting to open up about. Two, maybe have never thought about opening up to anybody about it before, and honestly have may have never opened up to anybody about it before. Whether it's like little deep dark secrets that are, innocent but funny, whether it's some dark stuff, whatever it is. There's a lot of things that happen and we hear, and for somebody who has anywheres from 3 to 6 clients a day, that's a lot of stories and a lot of information that comes in a day and a lot of personalities, and with those stories and personalities, it's a lot of information to go home at the end of the day and be like, "Oh, wow. All the conversations I had today are so different, but also rewarding or also, like, interesting to think about." So the first story I wanna talk about today, we're gonna call this the proposal. So, I had someone in my chair, been doing her hair for a while, and she had been in a relationship or has been in a relationship since I've known her, and, I mean, this has been a very long time. So they've been in a relationship for a very long time, and she knew like, we've talked about, like, we know that she's gonna be getting engaged soon. Um, well, there was some little droppets, I would say, from his end and also the people around them, and I can't remember exactly if he had the ring and she knew or if she suspected he had the ring, but she even admitted that she was getting her hair done at a specific appointment because she felt like the proposal was gonna be coming up during the holidays. So, she even said that she was secretly looking around the house to find the ring. Um some people wanna see it before, some people don't wanna see it after, some people wanna know it's coming, some people don't. But she wanted to know that it was coming, she wanted to prepare for it, no shade, no hate, to each their own. But so we're talking about this at her hair appointment, and we're, like, hyping her up. We're like, "Yeah, he's gonna do it, like, there's no way he's not," and, like, the conversation and just, like, the things, the evidence, I guess you could say, that we were talking about, we're like, "He has to do it over the holidays, right? Like, there's no way he's not." So, holidays pass, and I kinda forgot about it for a little while. I didn't see anything on social media. Well, she comes back in after the holidays for her appointment, and she walks in, she sits down, and I'm sitting there, like, I'm waiting for her to tell me, like, "Oh my gosh, look at the ring," like, maybe the ring's getting sized because I didn't see anything. So, I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm like, "So?" And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, what what happened? Like, the holidays?" And she's like, "Oh, we broke up." What? When I tell you my heart dropped and I was shooketh to the absolute core. Like everything in me just I felt sink down to my toes. Like instantly I was like, "Oh my gosh, what?" Like I didn't know if I needed to cry, like I didn't know if I needed to hug her, and I'm just staring at her and my face is completely dropped like, "What the hell? What do you mean?" And she just starts laughing and she's like, "I'm just kidding." She was like, "He didn't propose, but I'm just kidding. We didn't break up. Like, we're fine." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe you just did that." Like, and I'm telling her, I'm like, "Girl, my heart just dropped out of my freaking butt. Like, hold on, let me go put this back in my chest. Like, what the hell? I cannot believe you just said that." So, like, we laughed about it and everything. And cruel joke, I will admit. But well, on the positive side, they're okay, they're doing great. But no, he did not propose for the holiday season, and we did agree that he's gonna have to start maintaining her hair appointments. I told her, I was like, "Girlfriend, you were so on point about having your hair done for this proposal." I was like, "That man just needs to make sure he's taking care of your hair appointments until he proposes because the stress, poor thing, that she was like, I have to have my hair done in case he proposes." Oh my gosh. So now I'm like, okay, so we do your hair every so often. So sometime in like, does he need to know your hair schedule so he knows when to propose and make sure that he does it after your hair appointment? I'm like, better yet, just let him take care of your hair appointments. Like the stress that he put on us, like, oh my gosh. No, joking but serious. Whatever. But what it made me realize is that your hair appointments become a part of these moments too. People come in before all of their life events. They come in after their life events, and we're fortunate enough to be a part of them every step of the way. So, even though the proposal didn't happen during that moment, I was there with her leading up to that anxious feeling, and that's a story hopefully after they get engaged, because they will, but after they get engaged, she'll be able to tell him and he'll be able to laugh with her about it, and she'll be like, "I cannot believe you. Me and Kelsey were talking, and we made sure to get my hair done because we thought you were gonna propose," and hopefully this is something they can just, like, laugh and giggle about and, like, reflect on. But for me, like, I look at that and I'm like, I was a part of that moment with her, and I'll be a part of the moment whenever she does get engaged, and then the marriage and their wedding and future events, after that. We become a part of all these life events, and it really is. It's really such a fortunate thing to be a part of. And that leads me to another story, which it's so bittersweet. We watch people's lives unfold over time. I have clients that I've started doing their hair in middle school and they're going to high school or they're in high school or they're about to graduate high school. I've had clients who I've started doing their hair in high school and then they've gone off to college, they've gotten a boyfriend, maybe engaged, there are so many life events and things that we've seen in their lives just unfold and almost, like, watch them grow up, and I have a couple of clients that are a little bit younger in grade school, and I always joke, I'm like, "Those are my babies." Like, every time they come in, it's like they're my children, like my salon children, like, I love them so much, and I've watched them do homework at school. I've watched them practice for, plays and rehearse lines and just different things, and it's like a proud mom moment in the salon because, of course, I have my proud mom moments all the time with my kids, but I also have that with some of my clients in the salon, and it really is. It's such a fun little experience to have. So I had this client who sat in my chair for years. She was single, so every time she would come in, she would just update me on life. She was living her best life. She was going out, having fun. She was working. She was in school, all the things. And then she started dating someone, which every time she would come in, I would get the little updates on that, which I love because when I see a client, especially a regular client on my books, I truly enjoy to get the updates. I get the little updates on how their life has been going, and with this client in particular, she would give me the updates on how their relationship was going. And then she came in one day and she was like, I have some news. I'm like, okay, what is it? Now, mind you, her and the new relationship had been going on for a while now, and she tells me I'm pregnant, and I'm like, oh my gosh, congratulations! Like it was. I remember the feeling of being like, this is such a big monumental life event, and I've been with her since she was single, and I only see her in the salon for her hair appointments, but she feels like such a close friend, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh," like, I'm so excited for her, and I'm like, I've been knowing her since she was single till she's dating, and now she's having a baby. Like, this is so amazing, and this is such, like, awesome. Like, it's an awesome feeling to be told this. Like, she was excited to tell me, and I was so excited to hear it. And it was really something special just to watch that relationship grow into something real and to see her life change over time. It was just a really good, rewarding, and special moment. And I'll never forget the last appointment before she had the baby. I didn't realize that it was her last appointment, and she made the comment to me, um, this is going to be the last appointment, my hair appointment before I have the baby. And she also mentioned that they were gonna be moving. So and that where they were moving, she wouldn't be able to make the drive to come get her hair done with me anymore. So, just with that relationship that we built over time and that I built with her, I took the time while she was processing during her hair appointment. Her color was on and it was processing. We had a little boutique down the road. I told everybody in the salon, I was like, "Hey, if she asks where I'm at, just tell her like I'm outside on a phone call or something." But I snuck out real quick for about 10 or 15 minutes and I told them like, "Y'all, make sure she's okay. Just I'll be right back. I just want to go get something for her." So I snuck out and I went got her like a little baby gift. And I came back and she was so surprised. I'll never forget, like, she started crying and I started tearing up. And I told her, I was like, we may not hang out outside of the salon, but you have brought something special to my life and you've become a special part of my life. And to have experienced with you the the moments of you growing as a person, it has been so rewarding. And I gave her gift and excuse me, I'm getting all choked up over here. But I gave her gift and gave her a hug and told her how proud I was of her and that she was going to be a great mother. And unfortunately, she still lives far away, but she did come back one more time after that. And I got to meet her boyfriend. I got to meet the baby, and that was one of the most special moments. Um it really was. It was such a genuine, special, and just rewarding is the best word I can use. Rewarding moment, and those are the types of moments in this career that really it reminds me of what I do and, like, why I do it. Because people come into our lives in these small little windows sometimes, and sometimes you get to witness the really big chapters of their story. And to me, that's a beautiful thing. Now, on a little bit more of a lighthearted note, something I've also thought about is are women weirder than men in the salon? Because we all know that guys can be a little weird, I'm sure, in the barbershop, but sometimes I am convinced that women might be a little weirder than men in the hair salon because the hair salon is a place where we feel comfortable, especially whenever you have a community of women in there. Um, I definitely have had moments where I'm like, if a man was to walk into this conversation right now, he would probably be like, "What in the world? What in the world is going on? Like, what are y'all talking about?" So, a little something you may not know about me is I used to work construction and I used to work in the plants. So, working around men all the time and hearing their conversations, it can take you back a little bit. If you're not used to hearing men talk with a group of men, it can be like clench my pearls type of thing, which for the most part, they were respectful around women. But some of the things that come that comes out of these men's mouth. And I don't care what anyone says, men have just as much drama as women. You get a group of men together, they will bitch and moan more than women. I, I'm just going to say that. Prove me wrong. I really do. I've seen it, I've lived it. I'm just saying. But then sometimes I think about our conversations in the salon and I'm like, damn, if men only knew, like we hold it together in front of guys, you know, we try not to be like, oh my gosh, that's so unladylike. But some of our conversations are a little unhinged, and that's okay because girl talk isn't always about being pretty. No, girl talk is real sometimes. And in front of men, men don't have to know what goes on in girl talk all the time. I mean, even some of the things that women will admit in the salon. We can talk about the pre date preparation confessions. I know if you've ever sat down with your girls and had a real conversation before a first date, you know what I'm talking about. The preparation before the first date. Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it, right? You know what I'm talking about. I've heard all of the rundown, which I mean, I'm a female. I've gone through it too. And you know what? I'm going into a 3-year relationship. So a first date preparation, it's been a while for me, but we all have been there. And that whole rundown, I've heard it all from the everything shower. I'm talking about the shaving routine, the skincare routine, the hair, the outfit crisis. Because we all know when we put on an outfit that we think is going to work perfectly in our heads, to have your whole closet off its hanger and you're basically in tears wanting to call the whole date off because you can't find a damn thing to wear. We've all been there. The entire process. We have all admitted to it. And if you haven't admitted to it, then girlfriend, you need to find a different salon. That way you can have these real conversations because when we get on these subjects in the salon, it is so funny because we start admitting things like for instance the everything shower, like we start on it, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, and then I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and girl, you should see how I have to lift my legs in order to shave. Like it's there, okay? Don't act like I'm the only one. We've all done it. But meanwhile, the guys over there are probably just getting a haircut and putting on some deodorant for the first date. No, not us. No, we got to be all kinds of difficult. We got to have a whole routine, the whole list. Like, you got to have a checklist to get ready for a first date as a woman. And we have all admitted that sitting in the salon. I can't tell you how many times we've had this conversation. But then the best part, things that we have admitted and conversations we have had in the salon is not the pre-date, it's the post-date. So you have your pre-date preparation confessions, and then you have your post-date confessions. And what I mean by that, so you get ready, the date goes good, and someone says, okay, so the date went good, but the first thing when I got back in my car, does anybody want to sound off in the comments? What do you think? One of the things, what is one of the things that you do post date? I want to know. Put it in the comments. Please let us know. Okay, so date went well, but the first thing I did when I got back in my car or my house after he dropped me off, whatever, was let out the biggest sigh of relief. Now, take that as what you will. Ladies, you know the sigh. I'm talking about when you finally stop holding your stomach in and you just relax, right? Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you've probably never experienced this, which so happy for you. And one of the things that comes up in the salon that we talk about all the time is the cost of being put together. And not, I mean, yes, the cost of money, but you have the money aspect, you have the time, the energy, because when it comes down to it, you have your hair, your hair appointment, your nail appointment, your skincare routine, your makeup, your outfits, yada, yada, yada. Like you have all these things to prepare for. And what? He got a haircut and put on deodorant. No, it took me way too damn long to get ready to split a bill with you. The least you can do is pay for my meal and my drinks. Thank you. But one of my favorite things about the salon and having all these conversations is this is where the sisterhood happens. You know, the sisterhood happens in the salon, especially when there's a lot of people in there. We're all hyping each other up. Like, you leave the salon after conversations like this and like feeling like amazing. Like, you feel like you can conquer the world. Like, it's so uplifting. And there's definitely been moments where someone is telling a story about a guy and everyone in the salon collectively starts to realize that man ain't shit. Like, it is so funny whenever say a client is going through a breakup and she's talking about it openly, and we're all, like, listening and pitching in our opinions or whatever, and once it's that idea comes up, like, "That man ain't shit. Girl, you're getting your hair done today, you need to go out tonight." That girl goes out that night and she is on top of the world. She probably got 10 numbers because she has been uplifted by every person in that salon, and it is truly a sisterhood, and it is the most amazing things to see because me and my business partner Megan, we have witnessed our clients connect in ways and become friends over time because of conversations that we all collectively have. And it's so cool and it's so uplifting to be able to provide that kind of atmosphere and create that sisterhood type of bond within our community and within our salon. The conversation of somebody maybe going through a breakup and just kind of venting or maybe needing a little bit of advice, it suddenly turns into this supportive moment. And it's just women hyping each other up and reminding each other that they deserve better, whether it is the breakup, whether it is a job, they're talking about a boss that treats them poorly. At the end of the appointment, they feel uplifted and they're like, you know what? I'm not going to take that. I was telling Kelsey about a situation at work, but now I'm gonna put my foot down because I know my worth. I'm not gonna be underpaid, or I'm not gonna be treated like this by my boss or my friend or whatever. They feel uplifted because in our community and in our salon, we are supporting each other, and it's a bond. It's a sisterhood. And you know what? Salons are funny like that because yeah, at the end of the day, they're a part of a beauty routine, but they're also a part of like a therapy session and like a group chat. And the more years that I spend working behind the chair, the more I realize that the salon is more of a unique little space in people's lives. It gives people a safe space to openly talk. And I think a lot of that comes with the environment that we have created. We have worked very hard to create an environment for our clients to have these girl talks and these open dialogue moments where they can come in and feel comfortable, which is important because some people may not have that outside of the salon. Clients come in thinking that they're just getting their hair done, and somehow the conversations always end up being about life things. And I like to believe, I truly do believe that there are plenty of people who come in and walk out feeling good, with not just about their hair, about their outside, but also internally. So maybe that's the real magic of the hair chair. It's not just about the hair, it's also about having a place where you can sit down for a little while and just be taken care of and just be a human. If this conversation resonated with you in any way, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our episodes. And if someone came to mind while listening to this episode, send it their way. We'll love to have them. But I'm Kelsey, your hairstylist, unlicensed therapist, the Hairapist. I'll see you at our next appointment. Bye.